Alright. So this is basically the route that I always take. It's nothing new if you've watched other Darmal runs. But, you know, people always ask me, can you make a video about your specific run? Because the last time I did a run was many months ago. So the old one is very old and out of date. And this is how we do Darmal now. I guess the big changes between now and back then are that back then we used to do 4 bosses and now we just do 2.5. But that lets us do 5 runs an hour instead of just 3 or 4. So we're basically trying to maximize the chance of getting crystals rather than going for max trash loot and boss loot. So this guy, ideally we just skip him because he just wastes time, and then in the end if we aggro him again we just banish. You manipulate imps at the end so you don't take aggro or ages to reset. I'll show you once we get there. So we start with this impact, of course, because the Hell Caller helps us with Hydro Spawn. And oh, hold on, I have the wrong. There we go. Hell Caller helps us with Hydro Spawn, and that way we don't accidentally aggro him while we're fighting the boss. Which can be quite annoying. Obviously it's a little unlucky when the lashes spawn, but still. Let's kill them very quick. Sometimes we get a chest over there. If we do, then we obviously do that pack, the Hell Caller pack over there. When we have the double stealther here, we have to kill them. When we only have one, we can kite the other one to the last, or to Zevrim, and then kill him with Zevrim. Otherwise, just have to kill him here. The biggest time loss is obviously just sitting down and having to. But I'll show you what I mean. So, this guy is a little more annoying, but if we get the roaming guy and not this guy, it's pretty much the same thing. We just kite him and hope for no poison. Because there's a ledge right there, this one, where he will bug out and run back. There you go. And now we build distance. And he just dies to dots pretty much, or close to dies. We'll just dot him on the way there, and then we pull the boss immediately. We don't wait. We don't, bother killing him. Because he'll just evade to the same spot like the boss. We might take a couple hits, but that's okay. Move that poison and then make him run around. And now he's basically on the same path as the boss. That saves, a little bit, like 30 seconds maybe. Obviously, make sure to always evade the sack. With my gear, I can probably survive a sack at full HP, but it's that time lost when you eat it. So better not to eat it. Now what you can do is you can let him come close. And then drain life. So this is basically one. But hey, that's a good way to show what happens when you get sacrificed. Just use a source on immediately and run back. He has a cooldown on his sacrifice, so if you die to a sacrifice, he can't do it for the next few seconds. So you just have plenty of time to run back to your spot. Even if you eat some auto attacks, it's okay. Yeah, all for educational purposes. Definitely not accidental. And then that's it. Raid all over? Yeah, we finished raid. You're gonna have to watch the VOD if you want to check the raid out. Had a pretty good raid in terms of both loot and performance, so I definitely suggest watching that one. Both Molten Core and MC was nice. So this guy, when we aggro him, we just banish. You don't want to fear, because then he might aggro the stuff in the other room. So we just banish. When we get 2, then we banish 1 and fear 1. Ideally in this room, because he doesn't aggro anything in this room, but he will aggro the other demons in the other room. Yeah, we got a bunch of trinkets this week. It's pretty nice. Sniper explode the imps. I don't think it one-shots them, but also you don't want to use a sapper because that's, 3 or 4 gold. It eats into your gold per hour. And the whole point of this is to maximize your gold per hour, which is why we also skipped the last boss, and I'll show you how. Obviously, you've all seen me do it a million times, but we're making an educational video, right? Is there any way to survive Velusaur's bomb? Not really. You can Hearthstone out and then log out, but then you're pretty much out of the raid. Alright, so we're gonna have to reset the guy. You can either do it up here or on this pillar, it doesn't really matter, whatever the fuck you want. And then we just do the last boss. Eating a lot of debuffs this time, but I guess that's the best case scenario for the educational video, because then it's the slowest possible run, even though it's not really nice for me. All we need to do is get him to 50%. You know, once there's clouds at the door, we know that we can leave. There we go. Just jump up there. Evade him. Obviously, if you're undead female or undead or female orc or female human, you might have to use a speed boost to get up here. I think all the other races are fine. Now, the way you manipulate them is by being out of line of sight. As soon as one guy spots you, the whole pack kind of aggroes you, and you want to stack them up on the boss so you can rain of fire them, because we don't use the invis spot strat anymore. So you just slowly move up. Because if you stand here all the way, then those guys aggro you, and if someone's stuck behind, then they might aggro you as well. So you want to wait until they're all out of the cave, and then you move forward a little bit. And then you just rain of fire them. You might not get them on the first attempt of rain of fire. That's okay. Just keep casting, and they'll die at some point. There's still one guy alive. And that's it, I think. If I'm not blind. Yeah, they're all dead. Now you just reset this guy, and then you run in and mine. Now, if he comes back, and you're impatient... hold on, let me just show you. So, if when he stands here, we'll just stop. Actually, it's whatever. We'll keep letting the timer run. When he stands here, you can't run there. So you have to go around this pillar. And I'll show you how to do it in a second. If he's in the middle of the room, then you can just run straight to the cave. So I'll show you what you do. Actually, he's leaving now, so we'll just go straight. Never mind. Yeah, Doom would be a waste, because we have too much spell power. Agony wins out over Doom at some point, and we are far beyond that point. Does anyone really care about welfare ZG? No, it's not a thing. Also, that's probably the last time I'm ever gonna do solo Darmal, unless there are some circumstances where I can't use my priest. Because from now on I'll be dual boxing Priest Warlock, and I'll probably do a video about that as well. Because I'm obviously dropping mining for ZG, and ZG is coming up next week. Now on average we get like 1 or 2 crystals an hour. Obviously now we didn't get anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, we could probably cut that down to like 11.5 or 12 minutes or whatever. And if we do 5 runs an hour, that's 60 minutes. And that's it. Even 30 minutes is fine, because then you never run risk of getting locked out. So that's basically the modern Darmal.